They've been exposed. Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, evil. How are they evil? You ever heard of something called a humiliation ritual in Hollywood? Yeah, they did that to Cavill. And they secretly hired James Gunn. He probably put him up to it. What in the Alex Jones are you talking about? They rehired Cavill knowing very well they were going to fire him. And there you go. He posted that he was back, and then, bam! Humiliation. Gunn said he would love to work with Cavill in the future, publicly. Gunn lays on a bed of lies. Didn't Zach praise DeLuca and Abdi for the full circle thing like it wouldn't have happened without them? It doesn't matter. It's not about Zach. I thought everything was about Zach. This is about Cavill. Focus. Cavill's too old to play Superman anyways. Oh, playing the too old card, huh? Ageist. Just accept it. Yeah, well, you better accept that I'm about to create 14 new boycott hashtags for Superman. More hashtags? How many hashtags do you need? Well, I just created one more. Hashtag not a real DC fan. You son of a bitch.
Lights out! Now you want to get nuts! Come on! Let's get nuts.
What? My dueling personalities at it again? I swear. The voices. What's happening, guys? Welcome to Film Junkie Live on your hump day. The Giants are killing the Phillies right now, 11-4, so I'm happy about that. It is Wine Wednesday, so I got a glass poured. Cheers, guys. Glad you're with me right now. Spending some time. Hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Do all the things. If you want to become a member, support the channel. We do a members-only stream after every Wednesday stream, so you guys can get a little bit more intimate with me and everything. So if you want to, do so. Who's out there? How we doing? Let's see. What are we doing here? Let me put that on. Oh, we got some memberships from good old Miss Lisa. Darling. We got Ryan right here. Good to see you. We got Game City Savior. What's going on? In response to Evan's Johnny being sexist, to be honest, it only works with your Chris Evans, because technically it didn't work back then either. I think you're talking about, there were some conversations about how Johnny Storm is in the new Fantastic Four. Yeah, I saw stuff about that, but I didn't really, I just kind of saw it. I was like, all right, cool, it's fine. What's going on, Jalen? Good to see ya. Good to see you, buddy. We got Cloned Avenger right here. One of the complaints with Superman trailer was that the robots greeted Superman as Superman and not Kal-El. I'm reading All-Star Superman right now, and they greet him as Superman in the book. Yeah, it's almost like it's a heavy inspiration, It is. But of course, naturally, since that's the case, now you got people going, well, All-Star Superman's a shitty book. It's like, okay. Before it probably wasn't, but now that this one's heavily inspired by All-Star Superman, it sucks. But hey, what could he do? What's going on, Axel? Good to see Daredevil finale was very underwhelming. I could barely see anything during the fights. All right. And then, of course, we got Fear Jason right here. Good to see ya. And there you are, darling. Thank you for gifting those memberships. Much appreciated, Miss Elisa. Good to see you, of course. We got Rhea right here. The Glimmer cast, of course. And do what she says. Let's see, what else we got? Yeah, there's like a lot of stuff coming in. Let's see. Hey, we got Taladia Plays right here. Hi, Dave. And thank you, of course, for being a member for 13 months. Gotta love that. Superman Day, so much comics coming out. I know. I have yet to visit the comic book shop that is in the next town over. I keep on saying I'm going to, and then it just doesn't happen. I think I should probably do it, I don't know, probably this Saturday. This Saturday I should go, because there's got to be, plenty of things that are going to be coming out for Superman Day. I know it's Friday. Maybe I'll go Friday. I don't know. I do need to get a haircut. I keep saying that too. My hair is getting a little too long. But, we'll see what happens. Maybe if I, get off work early on Friday, maybe I'll try to, because I actually been working extra this week, so I can balance that out and get off a little bit early, go get a haircut, and then go check out that comic book shop on Superman Day. Probably be the perfect time to do it, to be honest. Well, I know what shirt I'll be wearing that day. That's for damn sure. Anyways, What's going on, Music Man? Good to see you, bud. We got Zach P right here. Good to see you too, good sir. And then we got Versus Seed. Tried to stay spoiler free before binging Daredevil today. Mission kind of successful, yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk about the Daredevil finale, and I am going to get spoilers, but that's not till the end of the stream, so, you know, it'll be okay, I think, for anybody. And I'll warn, of course. Mr. Nobody, what's happening? What's with the celebration with DC characters and movies? I don't know. What do you mean, what's with the celebration? The Gunn is like celebrating the anniversary of when the characters were created? I mean, I think he's just doing that just to keep the buzz going, to be honest. That's my guess. Shane O, ahoy! Everyone is going to be some great, exciting news things happening with DC lately for this week, especially with Jimmy Olsen meets the director, a real classic, and we're all going to view it. Okay, yeah, there you go. We got Lane right here. Wednesday, another Film Junkie Live, another Wednesday, another hump day. That's for damn sure. So, yeah, and hopefully, you guys, yeah, no. Did you know? No, like I said, it's just the voices in my head, Ray. It's not actually, my twin, but hey, yeah, something like that, right? Just got to remove the glasses, and it's a totally different person. Thank you. Yes, I know. These skits are fun. I mean, they basically write themselves. I mean, they essentially write themselves. You know, I said I was going to start doing those little sketches again. And like I said, with that whole Pam and Michael DeLuca thing that came about, I was like, oh, hey, I have another little bit. I actually started writing another part of the next one, too. Because initially I had something that was going to be in that sketch. And then I went, no, I could save that for another one. Like I said, it's just, you got to make fun of all the stuff. So, some Oscar, thank you. There you go. I'll accept my Academy Award. Yes. Let's see. And of course, thank you again, Miss Lisa, for gifting 5 memberships. Much appreciated. You are awesome. Let's see who else we got. We got Eric right here. Good to see you, bud. And we got Mr. Chris Balga. Hey there. Dave, is Superman Day the day that all the fandoms come together and celebrate all versions of Superman being great? Maybe. Okay, I tried. Hey, Daredevil and Punisher gave me chills. Yeah, can't wait to talk about it with, of course, Chris and the rest of the crew that'll be on the Vodka stream on Friday. And yeah, I'm going to talk about it here too. But yeah, Superman Day would be nice, but now, you know, like I said, there's certain people that don't like other versions of Superman. What could he do? But there is some videos, like a certain individual, a tall individual that actually wears a Superman tattoo, had something to say about Superman Day that we'll talk about. Show that video. Let's see. Never cared for All-Star Superman. Yeah, it's fine. You know, it's good. Let's see. The sad service, what's happening, kind of random. But Dave, your hair and glasses always take me back to, yeah, that's because yeah, well, I've had spiky hair and glasses for a good portion of my adult life because it just, I don't know, it stuck. Now, naturally, my hair just goes wherever it wants to go. It's never been like the exact same style. It just does its thing, and yeah, the glasses. I need to get new glasses, though. I've had these glasses for a few years, probably about 3 or 4 years. About time to upgrade for sure. So, Arkham Knight, what is happening? We got Indiana Jake right here. Good to see ya. We got Ninja Gamer 3. Hope that Brendan Sklenar hype isn't going anywhere. Too young. And Edward Norton E to look anything like Batman to me. Alan Richardson has the ruggedness and the jawline. Just dyes hair black. Yeah, just never been a fan of the full-on a fan of the Alan Richardson one. No, I don't. I just, the voice, I don't know. When he starts talking, I just hear the voice, and I seen him in the other. I don't see it. When I hear Brendan Sklenar's voice, I go, yeah, I think that's pretty good. So, 24 hours later, I still have goosebumps and goosebumps. Yeah, there you go. When it comes to Daredevil, because yeah, it is 24 hours later, but yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. Anyways, guys, appreciate you. Like I said, hit that like, thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, become a member if you haven't done that too, or hey, we got the Patreon as well. Post things on there. I need to get back to posting those like random like Sunday night podcast that I used to do. I do the Monday post show on there, so that's always fun. But yeah, like I said, Wine Wednesday. Got myself a little glass of wine, and of course the Giants are have at it right there. So hopefully you guys had a good couple of days. Let's just dive right into it, huh? So Friday, the trailer. D-Man, good to see you, by the way. I don't know. And Robin, good to see you too. And Dale, also good to see you. Alan Richardson just looks like Batman. He does not have the, yeah, he's big, he's huge, and I can see him maybe in the costume, and he looks very Dark Knight-ish, but I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, voice. This is the voice, but then again, I know he could probably pull something like that off. Who knows? But good to see you guys. But yeah, let's dive right into it. This is kind of a funny tweet that I saw right here, and because obviously we got the new Mission Impossible that's gonna be coming out next month. And there's a little crossover right here that somebody wanted to post, and it says, Mr. Hunt, you've spent your entire life playing with fate. Now, I'd like to play a little game with you. You know what voice I'm trying to do, right? That's right. Jigsaw! Yeah, I think this is from The Firm right here. And we got Tobin Bell right here that was in that. And somebody posted that image, and it was just kind of funny. I thought it was funny that it would be like a funny little crossover. Can you imagine? Can you imagine like little crossover, especially when it comes to like Jigsaw? So, yeah. Firm. I think that's The Firm. I might be wrong. That should be The Firm. Did somebody say that that's The Firm, or is that should be The Firm? I know that's, or is it? I think it's The Firm. I'm pretty sure it's The Firm. Anyways, thought that was funny. Oh, yeah, and this is pretty cool right here. The A word. And I'm not talking about the letter with the other letter that a lot of people freak out about when it comes to AI. No, I'm talking about the A word that certain people don't like it when I talk about that certain A word. You know what that A word is, and that's animation. And how many times have I gotten the pushback that from these individuals that will not accept animation when it comes to continuing the Snyderverse or doing anything when it comes to the Snyderverse, even though animation is pretty awesome, and Zach very much likes animation. For God's sakes, he's got a series out on Netflix that is animation, and it's always been about the animation. And it's kind of funny because obviously we have, there's that whole hashtag about Netflix and everything like that, and then I see this image right here and I went, what? Did Netflix post something about animation not being, just for kids like some of these individuals have said? They did. Animation is cinema. Animation is not just a genre for kids. What? Are you kidding me? No. Netflix, you gotta listen to those hashtags. Live action or nothing. Come on. You cannot speak of animation like that, all right? Animation is cartoons. It's specifically for kids. I will not have any of that. Except they're absolutely correct. I mean, Jesus Christ. Come on. Jeez, what are we doing here, folks? I mean, I saw that, I was like, yes. I love it when like people would shit on animation. It's like, no, it's not. We're not talking about Saturday morning cartoons here, folks. There's some really good animation out there. Certainly thinking that Jay Oliva totally loves that idea, Hey, you want to see something cool? You want to see the Wayne Manor in Batman Returns behind the scenes? Look at that. Of course, we knew that was a model right there. It's so interesting because when it comes to Batman Returns and the fact that they turned Wayne Manor into like this big, almost like a tower. I mean, Wayne Manor is almost like a castle, cryptic. I don't know. It's so interesting, but I love the fact, that this image was posted. But it is really cool. I always thought like Wayne Manor in Batman Returns was pretty cool. It looked very cryptic. It looked very gothic, more gothic than it did in the original one. It just didn't look practical. But at the same time, when it comes to Batman Returns, I always said that, Gotham City basically is just in a snow globe. But I understand that it was very much more Tim Burton-y, so I don't, by no means do I hate it or anything like that. But that's a little behind the scenes. But if you look at that, how many stories? It looks like a hotel. They essentially made Wayne Manor look like a hotel in Batman Returns, and I thought, yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I would gladly have a miniature of that, some kind of miniature of that. I would gladly have something like that. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Oh, man. So, and obviously we got Sinners that's going to be coming out this weekend, and I'm going to talk about the reviews. And you guys all know that the reviews are absolutely stellar when it comes to Sinners. But you know, if we were to listen to the Scoopy Pantses out there, the Scoopers out there, if we were to listen to them, well, we wouldn't think that Sinners was actually going to be well received. And here's an example right here from a certain individual that you guys know.
Kane says, what's the word on Ryan Coogler's upcoming Sinners? Is it testing better than the first time around? Speaking of testing, Jeff, you heard anything?
I think that looks kind of mixed.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I'm nervous about that one, as I think that Warner Brothers is as well.
I think I'm nervous about it too. Kane.
There you go, guys. They're nervous about it. Mr. Jeff Sneider, he heard that it was, mixed, not as well received and everything like that. Except now, now everybody's just raving about it. Crazy, I know. Crazy. But, let's listen to that guy. Woo! All right, cool. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine, it's fine. It's fine. Just, I know some people out there want to listen to, okay, but it's fine. Apparently, Jeff didn't get invited to a screening of Sinners. I wonder why. Why does he not get invited to these screeners and stuff like that? Because I saw a tweet where, he said he didn't get invited to an advanced screening of Sinners. He realizes why, right? He's got to realize why. Because he puts out all this shit that goes against. Why would they invite him? Anyways, whatever. It's besides the point. Okay. Oops. All right, so naturally, we talked about on Monday, it was announced that Gail Simone and Zack Snyder were, of course, teaming up to do a prequel comic for Rebel Moon. And the first one that was going to be released was going to be about Nemesis, and we got one of the covers that's drawn by Federico Bartoni, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. That's beautiful right there. I love the art style. Of course, we got the swords. Obviously, she's out for revenge after what happened to her family, naturally. She's got the gauntlets and, yes, the swords, and it just looks freaking awesome right there. You gotta love it. Gotta absolutely love it. So, looking forward to that. Gonna be interesting. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, this happened yesterday, everybody. So I woke up yesterday and I went, wow, obviously you check Twitter and, the notification showed me right here in the morning. I got two new followers, but I don't know, guys. I can't seem to see one of them. Can you see one of them? I'll zoom in a little bit. Can you see one of them? I see Zachary Hammett. I can't see the other one. It's almost like I just can't see it, but it says but I can't see that name. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. Of course, you have to make the joke. It's a dumb joke. I get it, guys. I get it. It's a dumb joke. The whole John Cena, you can't see him, but of course he had to make the dumb joke. But yeah, apparently John Cena followed me yesterday. I don't know why. I don't know exactly why, but I know he does that though. I'm not like one of those like, oh my God, it's crazy, John Cena. I'm like, well, he does that. If you look at his follower, he's following like 1 million people. So I don't even know if it's like him actually doing it. Could be his people that are handling all that stuff. But yeah, kind of cool. Pretty cool that, see, Dell even said it. He seems to follow everybody. So I'm not thinking I'm special or anything like that. But hey, might slip in those DMs. That's right. and be like, hey, you know, around August when Peacemaker comes out, I'll be like, hey, buddy, you want to pour yourself a drink and show up on a live stream that's not all that popular on a Friday night? That could be cool. That could be cool. No, plot twist, D-Man. I actually wasn't following John Cena. I thought I was. I wasn't following John Cena. I was like, oh shit, I'm not even following him. Well, I guess I'll follow him now. I thought I was following John Cena, but no, apparently wasn't. But hey, yeah. That's cool though. I'm like, all right, cool. John Cena. Why not? But we'll see. Maybe there could be like a possibility that, you know, get him on the Vox stream. That'd be pretty sweet. Have a little chat with him. It'd be pretty sweet. I like it. You know what else I'm liking? I'm liking this right here, man. I talked about on Monday's show about weapons from Zach Cregans, or I think that's what his name is. Can't remember. Kragers, whatever. I'm totally butchering his name, totally blanking on his name right now. But we got that weapons movie that's going to be coming out, which the plot is a classroom full of kids. They disappear at 2:17 a.m. at night. And we haven't seen the trailer yet. We've seen, you know, kind of like a poster kind of thing almost and whatnot. But obviously it's from New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema decided to release, and this is great marketing right here. They decided to release like these little tidbits for the movie. And they're showing like, it's almost like, it's just camera footage, like CCTV footage, showing these kids leaving their houses at 2:17, and it's creepy as all freaking hell, man. So there's one. Kid's just running, and a security light turns on. Okay? But that's not it. They did like a whole stream of these here. So let me see. Yeah. So they did like, and all of them are like short, and it's pretty cool. So there's another one right here. This one's longer. 2:17 a.m. I mean, this is a great way to market this movie right here. Another kid just running down the street, and then a kid right after him. And like their hands are out. It's very weird. It's cool. But I mean, the mystery. And here's another one right here. Kid running across the street, hands out. 2:17. That's the one I show at first. And yeah, here's like kind of like a still shot. So it's like they're like pretending like they're flying or something like that. I don't know. Looks pretty sweet. So that's what they're doing when it comes to that marketing right there. And then here's another shot, still shot of just like a ring camera or something like that. They never came back. And then of course here's an image of some of these kids, or probably a couple of them, on this baseball team. And yeah, just showing still shots. And then this was the first thing that they, of course, showed, which was just your standard alarm clock. That looks like old school. I'm kind of wondering, yeah, but with all the CATV, it's called Weapons, yeah. And I'm kind of wondering, why is it called Weapons? That's an interesting little thing too. I'm like, why is it called Weapons? I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I'm also intrigued by this because we have Godzilla x Kong sequel that's going to be coming out, and they've been adding people to the cast. Guess who they added to the cast? They added Dr. Grant. That's right. From dinosaurs to monsters, I guess. What? That's right. Sam Neill has been added to the cast of Godzilla x Kong, the sequel. And that's very interesting. And what also is interesting, I should show you guys this because I even came across it when I was on TikTok. But I mean, I made the joke that, oh yeah, he's going to actually join the sequel as Dr. Grant. If they could pull it off, that would be sweet, but they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do some kind of crossover like that. Not to mention, I mean, this is like legendary. This is like Warner Brothers, and that's Universal, so they naturally would not do that. But it's so funny because he posted this video right here. It was actually kind of hilarious, if I can find it. Of course, I'm not. Yeah, he posted this video right here on TikTok. It was, I guess he has TikTok, but he was like mowing his lawn or something, and he posted this right here. It's like, I should probably turn down the music because copyright, but he had like an inflatable, an inflatable T-Rex on the back of his, yeah. So, it's crazy. So we had that, and like he had the caption that said, "I'm sorry, Steven." So, pretty funny. Pretty funny. But yeah, Sam Neill, he's going to be in Godzilla. I mean, that's cool. That's a good get. But of course, the jokes were all there. The jokes were all there. The jokes were all there. And this was cool too, because obviously when it came to the Daredevil finale, we had, we had, of course, we had Charlie Cox right here talking about, you know, before it premiered, before it debuted.
10 years and 5 days ago, the
10
first
years.
episode of Daredevil premiered. Tune in tonight for the season finale of Daredevil Born Again, only on Disney Plus.
I always forget that he has an accent. Anybody else? You know, when you like hear the character and you've been watching, and then you hear like, oh yeah, that's right, he's not American. You forget about that. You definitely, I always end up forgetting about it. Ooh, hey, we got some inspiration. What? Some inspiration, some Zack Snyder inspiration when it comes to absolute Superman. How dare they? How dare they take inspiration from Zack Snyder? No, of course. Zack Snyder is a huge inspiration when it comes to things. And some people notice this right here. I remember seeing this new cover, this, you know, it's a black and white. It's not colored in, but when it comes to absolute Superman, I think we can all recognize that pose right there, huh? Is that a safe behind him? Huh? That looks a little familiar. We know what that looks like. Of course. It looks exactly like that. Remember, this was the very first image that we saw Henry Cavill as Superman. Still remember that day and being like, holy shit! But you gotta love that. So they took some inspiration right there. It's good stuff, and that is that's FICO Ocio. Yeah, I love that. So somebody did that. I don't know if that's actually going to make it in a book, or maybe that's just not even, you know, going to even show up anywhere. But I thought that was pretty cool. And what else we got? Well, we'll save that. We'll save that for the DCU news. It'll be cool when the photo's released, yeah. All right, and then, of course, 28 years later, we got a new little teaser. Like, this is nothing that's not going to be anything too crazy, but this is actually a pretty cool teaser. I don't know if you guys saw this. Very much looking forward to this, and a lot of people are, according to some polling out there, that are looking forward to some of these movies that are coming out during the summer. A bunch of skulls, a bunch of red skulls, and then they intertwine them with shots from the movie. And of course, it's gonna make that shape that. But yeah, this is a very creepy teaser right here. Saw Ray Fiennes right there.
Moving up and down again. There's no charge in the war.
I'm gonna have a seizure. Creepy. Ooh. And that's it. It's a lot of buildup. Whew, yeah, but I like it. I definitely like it. That's really cool right there. Definitely looking forward to that one. And also, this is pretty cool too. I don't know if you guys saw this, but A24, we love A24, right? We love their movies, and the fact of the matter is, what's good about their movies is they are low budget, and they are usually really good. They're really good. Sometimes they're really out there, and maybe not everybody's going to like every single thing that they put out there, but they built up a pretty good reputation when it comes to indie filmmaking. And now, well, there's going to be A24 music. Very old school like. Look at that. So I'm guessing like, scores from their films. I don't know what exactly this is going to entail. It just says, hey, A24 music, stay tuned. That's what they put right there. So I like it. Sounds like a band, Animals. Animals has leaders. Okay, cool. But it's got that classic vibe because they love to do that kind of stuff, that kind of classically kind of vibe. So pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. And then, of course, like I said, we're going to be talking about Daredevil, and you got to just love these two. You got to love these two. I mean, they are foes when it comes to watching them on your TV, but, they love working with each other and can't wait for more because, currently right now, Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is filming. So we got a little tease right here.
What's up, Daredevil fans? Thank you so much for watching the first season of Born Again. You've been with us through the death of Foggy, the trial of the White Tiger, Muse, Bullseye, and of course, the corrupt rule of Wilson Fisk.
That's just the beginning. We have a lot more coming in the second season. From Hell's Kitchen.
Fogwell's Gym.
What are you doing? That's a spoiler.
Damn it!
So, in all seriousness, guys, thank you so much for your love and support as we return to the world of Daredevil. And if you'll excuse us, we have to get back because season 2 isn't going to film itself.
Ooh, he's got his hand wrapped up and he's a little messed up. Interesting. I think, Muse is probably still alive. I don't know. But I'm just kind of like going, interesting. I mean, honestly, I think Foggy's going to end up showing up. He's not dead. But then Muse might not be dead either. Nobody is dead. Anybody who dies in superhero, whatever, doesn't matter, they might come back. I mean, let's just face it, they might come back. And I think Foggy, I think definitely I 100% think he's going to be coming back for sure. And then keeping on, some Marvel things. Keeping on some Marvel things right here. Thunderbolts, honestly, I think Thunderbolts is going to end up being really good. I don't know why. I'm just having this feeling. It's just everything that at first I was going, all right, maybe, sure, fine. But it seems like they're marketing the movie right. It seems like they've really appreciated making this like smaller movie. It's not something that's going to be super huge. And a lot of people are casting it out. But some of the stuff has just been kind of good. Like that, they specifically did like an A24 trailer, which was interesting too. And then they mentioned people like that had worked on this movie, part of the crews. That was a great trailer where basically they were saying like, oh yeah, from the cinematographer of the Green Knight and the sound design of this person right here. It's been pretty great. And some of the posters, they haven't all been great, but this is a great poster right here. That's a great poster. I like this poster. So of course we've got the asterisks, which of course we're kind of figuring out exactly what that means. And of course it's on that table, and then they're all aiming their weapons at each other. So this is a really good poster. Even though we all know that Taskmaster probably not surviving after the first scene. I think we all can count her out. And then sticking on Marvel again, John Bernthal, he mentioned how he helped Tom Holland get Spider-Man, and Tom Holland helped him get Punisher. Why, you ask? Well, they were in a movie together. John Bernthal says He and Tom Holland helped each other land their Marvel roles while filming Pilgrimage. He read with me for Punisher, and I read with him for Spider-Man, and we both got cast. You love hearing stuff like that. Just, I mean, it's random and it's whatever, but it's just kind of cool that while they were filming Pilgrimage, which I didn't see, I don't even know if I even knew that movie. I'm like, who directed that? Maybe I heard something about it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to check it out because, probably something interesting. But at the same time, they were they were going to audition for these roles that they, of course, been playing now for years. And they both worked with each other and they both got it. That's what's pretty cool. So you love to hear stories like that. Love to hear stories like that. And then, oh shit, we got Snyderverse animation again. Uh-oh, I know. I shouldn't be showing this, but hey, I'm still going to show it because this is cool, and I've been showing you this guy's work for a little bit, and that's Dustin Macy, I think it is, and he's been showing some clips of some of this stuff right here when it comes to follow-ups in Snyderverse animation, and this is pretty cool. No music or anything like that, but show Batman and, punching the shit out of Joker and fighting with him. Just pretty sweet. I'm like, wait, what happened? Why is he doing that? So obviously unfinished work, but this guy's been doing some really cool things. I think he also had something else underneath this. Oh yeah, he had this right here too. And this is what I'm talking about. I love this kind of stuff. We got talented people that are taking it upon themselves to continue these stories in any form that is good. So we got obviously evil Superman right here in the black suit, which, hell yeah, gotta love that. Yeah, almost like a little Bruce Timm style, right? I like it. So, good on Dustin. I'm loving that. And then we got the Street Fighter movie that's going to be, who knows? It's so weird because I heard that this movie was postponed indefinitely, like it was going to be delayed indefinitely. I think they lost their director. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe that was just a BS rumor. Probably it was from that Scooper guy that we saw earlier, right? What's his name again? My name is Jeff. But apparently, according to Nexus Point News right here, we got Andrew Koji and Noah Centineo that are in talks for Ken and Ryu. What? Okay, let's check this out right here. This guy was in that one series. I can't remember. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was good. They're circling cast members of Andrew and, of course, Noah for Ryu and Ken. And then it's kind of, yeah, he was in that, he was the lead in Warrior, so that does make sense. He also had a role as Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. And then, of course, Centineo will be playing Ken Masters, which, of course, he was in Black Adam. He played, who did he play? What did he play? He played the Atom? He played the Atom, which is funny. But yeah, so Street Fighter, but it's just kind of interesting. Does it mention Street Fighter is set to be directed by Katayo Sakori? Okay, so I guess it was a BS rumor because apparently it's still happening. Originally attached to direct film before falling off. Yeah, that was two other guys that were. And Legendary is developing with Capcom, and the film is set to be released by Sony Pictures. Ugh. But I guess it'll be all right. Yeah. Just another, but for me, it was just another Tuesday. Yeah. Didn't what's-her-name just post that today? Eric, you brought up that, and I think what's-her-name posted that. Did I see that today? Who played Chun-Li? I thought I saw that earlier. I think I retweeted it, but yeah, that was funny. But hopefully it's a good Street Fighter movie. There's a lot of potential when it comes to Street Fighter, and it's just, it's so weird that, I mean, there's a nostalgia factor when it comes to that original Street Fighter movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme and Raul Julia as M. Bison, which is totally, you would think it's totally a miscast, but he leans into it. He definitely, Raul Julia really, he really leans into that role, and may he rest in peace. And he's been gone for a while, but man, that dude was talented individual. And he rocked M. Bison. You would not think that he would be an M. Bison, because M. Bison is supposed to be like a big, big-jawed, big dude. Raul Julia was not that, but Raul Julia, he worked with that role as best as he could. I mean, that movie is just pure 90s, just what the F, what is happening, kind of thing. So anyways, let me retweet that and pin that. Okay. All right. That's all with the tweets right there. Let's go ahead and start getting into some of this DC stuff. Like I said, not much today. Really not much today, but I did want to bring up something pretty interesting. That was, I saw people bringing it up, and that had to do with the Suicide Squad, and I'll get to it, of course. Let's see. Let me make sure I got all my stuff. All my links. But let's start off with some of the things right here. Let's go ahead. We have a little update. And I told you guys on Monday's show, and I even posted like the video and a clip about it because, again, we are in the era of people just making AI images and then, of course, tweaking the AI images to make them look like they're actual set images by adding blur, by adding little things to fool people and everything. And hey, DC Film News, they did their due diligence and tried to track down where the source, essentially the source of that Jason Momoa Lobo image. And it was so funny too because so many people, there was a lot of people that bought into that image of Jason Momoa. I had people, my mention said it was confirmed, and I went, where is it confirmed? Show me where it's confirmed. Of course it wasn't confirmed, and now we have somebody on Facebook that admitted that they used ChatGPT to create that image. So here we go. Here's a post right here. ChatGPT, and this is Randy Hernandez. Of course, that's in Spanish right there. And here's a little video that they were posting that showed how he exactly did it. So took a bunch of different images, and uploaded it into ChatGPT, and then therefore created that image right there of Jason Momoa as Lobo. And then that other image too, the far shot of that image too. So there you go. There's the image right there. And that wasn't the only one. Either. Remember, I showed you that Robert Downey Jr. As Dr. Doom image as well that was created. So somebody who actually, when this was posted, this person named Fuzzy Rich on Twitter, he decided to come clean and be like, well, I was the one that got behind that Robert Downey Jr. image. So he said, well, since everyone is admitting it, here's the Doom image before all the editing I added. So I don't know if he actually created it. Seems like he probably did. So there is a clearer image of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom that was created. And then, of course, he added, edited and added the blur and everything like that. So there you go. And this is Fuzzy Rich VFX. So maybe he didn't use AI. Maybe he didn't use AI to actually create that image. Who knows? So, but he was having fun. He also, you know what? There was another image that I'm just looking at I'm looking at it because I know I saw people like passing around something like this. This is right here that was showing James Marsden and Ian McKellen right there also. Apparently he created that image himself too. So a lot of people were passing around that. So yeah, you got the arc reactor. The real one will probably have. Do you think it's going to have an arc reactor? Maybe. I don't know. But there you go. So just some clarification from those AI slightly photoshopped images that we saw that I showed you on Monday's show. And the Giants won. They beat the Phillies. So they take, so they've won 2. They didn't win last night, but they won tonight, and that's pretty cool. We got Shaq. Right here. That's right. We got Shaq. Remember, this was like 2 months ago. Remember 2 months ago on Saturday, I think it was All-Star Basketball, NBA, where they had a little promo when it came to David Cornsweet and, of course, James Gunn showing up with Shaq looking at the Superman costume, and it was pretty cool. I was like, oh, yeah, there you go. There's some marketing for Superman. Now we got Shaq right here talking about Superman and, how has Superman inspired him?
Superman means everything to me. I can remember watching Superman 1, and this is the scene that made me feel like I'm Superman. When he was racing the train, the movie theater that I was at happened to be by the train, so on the way home I saw a train coming, and I was like, I ran and I beat the train. Not really, but in my mind, and from that day on, I was Superman. This is a 1972. My kryptonite is free throws. Be sure to rock your ass shield on Superman Day. It's April 18th. Let me see it.
So there you go. So Shaq just promoting Superman Day. Of course, they shot that when they shot that promo, so that's pretty cool. Gotta love Shaq, right? Everybody loves Shaq. Everybody loves Shaq. And then, of course, we have this image right here. We got another image that was posted by Jimmy Gunn. That's right. Come on, where are we at? Oh, why does it do that? All right, there we go. I just want to pull up his tweet. Jimmy Gunn, of course, celebrating Superman's pal, which, you know, on DC Fanimated not too long ago, we actually talked about a specific episode from Superman the Animated Series that was titled Superman's Pal, that, of course, focused on Jimmy Olsen. And, of course, we had the anniversary of Superman's Pal that happened, what was it, yesterday, and we have James Gunn that said today is the anniversary of Superman's best pal, Jimmy Olsen. And then, of course, you got Skylar Gisondo. I'm probably saying his name wrong, as I always do. And, of course, he says he's going to knock your socks off. Photo by somebody. And then, of course, there they are right there. Somebody took a photo behind the scenes. And there is Jimmy Gunn's, of course, with Skylar right there. Celebrating, you know, just giving some celebration to that. Jimmy Gunn's in an image again. What? Why is this guy in every single thing? My God. Jeez. Every promo, it's just James Gunn. My God. Oh, you know, that's the complaints that were out there, of course. You know, you see that pushback. Woof. Man, I saw some interesting tweets that I might have saved just to bring up later because, wow. Grown adults, grown dudes doing just interesting, just very interesting things. We'll see what happens, but I kind of saved some things that I saw in response to that. It was very interesting, and I'm like, what the hell? Why is the director in every behind-the-scenes photo? I know, it's crazy. Never been done before, except it's been done many times, which I like. I always love seeing a director direct because that's what's so cool. That is the maestro. That is literally the maestro that is doing this. I mean, just so freaking cool. I mean, good. And again, if I'm going to have to bring up Zack, just type in Google Images, Zack Snyder directing. You're going to have so many images of that, behind-the-scenes images with the actors of him directing that were posted. And then, of course, when it came to Army of the Dead, because he was also the cinematographer, and Rebel Moon, because he was also the cinematographer, so they were selling the movie with that. There's nothing wrong with using the director, who is a name, who is a brand, to sell the movie. There's nothing wrong with that. I get it. You hate the man. Anytime you see the man, you literally snap a pencil that you're holding. You're like, you know, you're throwing your fucking drink at your screen when you see this dude. Okay? Hey, I get it. When I see Zack in the images of him directing behind the scenes, he has a better aura than James. I'll give you that. There's something about like the image, because, you know, it's usually like Clay Enos, who's a stellar photographer, taking those behind the scenes images. I'll give you that. They look better. But my God, just search around. How many times did we see Matt Reeves behind the scenes directing Batman? How many times did we see that? How many times have we seen Christopher Nolan behind the scenes of his movies? And I love it when they have their hands up, they're doing this, I love it when they do that whole thing, when they do the framing thing. I love that. Tarantino, I could see that too. You know, it is just kind of cool when the director is a name and they're using the director to sell a movie. Okay? That used to be a thing. I don't know if these people who are just so upset about this remember that kind of stuff back in the 80s and the 90s when directors, they used to be a thing. That used to be a thing to sell the movie because of the director, not just the stars. But it's like, oh shit, a Steven Spielberg film? Oh, well, geez, What? Francis Ford Coppola? Oliver Stone? What? Okay. It's almost like it's a thing. But yeah, so... It's just admit that, I don't know, it's just like, I hope that James Gunn keeps on doing this because I love seeing these guys get so pissed off about it. It's just funny to me. It's funny. Like, I'm like, oh, wow, you guys get really upset about this. And then, of course, they post about it, they meme it, and I just go, you guys realize you are selling this movie more than the people who are excited about it. When I click on some of those names and I look at their profile, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys talk way more about Superman than I do. Good job. You're doing a great job, guys. Great job selling the movie. Now we got Gavin O'Connor. Gavin O'Connor, of course, we got The Accountant 2 that's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks. Next week, right? Is it next week? I think it's next week. And very much looking forward to it. I think we're all looking forward to it. And we have to remember that at one point, Gavin O'Connor was actually going to direct the sequel to 2016's Suicide Squad. Of course, we haven't seen that finished version, and hopefully one of these days we could see David Ayer's actual true vision of that. But of course, he spoke with Collider right here, and it's just kind of interesting because it's not the first time he's spoken about this, which is funny. I guess I won't be working here. Why Gavin O'Connor's Suicide Squad movie didn't happen. Exclusive. So here's what happened right here. It says O'Connor on how his Suicide Squad movie met its untimely end. So here's his quote. It's another example of the dysfunction of our industry. I had a very specific take. They wanted to do it. I think I was probably 3/4 of the way into the script when they brought in a new regime and all the DC people I was working with were gone. I was writing on the lot. I got a little bungalow there. My writing partner and I would just meet there and write every day. There was a knock on the door, and it was a new DC president. He said, so where are you with the script? I said, it's almost done. And he said, can I read it? And I said, well, you can read it when it's finished. A couple of weeks later, I gave it to him, and he said, can you make it a comedy? Can you make it a comedy? Can you make it a comedy? And I said, that's not what I wrote, and that's not the agreement I have with the studio. He wanted to make it into a comedy. I was like, all right, I guess I won't be working here. Ah! Is that Walter Hamada? Possibly. Emmerich? Look at that. Look at that. Yikes. Yeah. Imagine working on that, and they were all down. And of course, we have that another regime change, and then they're like, well, we wanted to make it a comedy, which of course was what they were trying to turn David Ayer's Suicide Squad into a comedy. Because if you watch that Comic-Con, of course, that Comic-Con trailer, that first teaser trailer, it's not really a comedy. It's kind of dark. It's kind of interesting. And that's the tone that he was trying to make. But again, this is not anything new because it was kind of funny because I saw people passing this around and people were talking about this, and I went, oh, wow, it's not the first time he's talked about it because this is not the first time I talked. I knew it sounded familiar, and when I searched in Twitter, I found an old tweet of mine with a video of mine that says, Warner Brothers wanted a comedy Suicide Squad sequel, says Gavin O'Connor. Look at the date, September 14th, 2021. Whoa. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, yeah, I thought, yeah, I have talked about that before. But of course, it's kind of cool to revisit that and hear more what he has to say. But yeah, it was just kind of funny. I was like, oh yeah, I have talked about that before. There you go. But yeah, that's the director of The Accountant right there. That sucks though, man. You think you got a good gig, you're gonna make something pretty cool. You're gonna have. I think he was gonna have Deathstroke in the second one, of course. Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke. It was all gonna be cool too, but yeah, make it into a comedy. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's just what's stupid, absolutely stupid. But those guys aren't there anymore. All right, that wraps up the DC news right there. Let's talk about this Academy Award-winning lady right here. That is Mikey Madison. Okay, so Mikey Madison, obviously, she just won for Best Actress, and naturally, when that happens, usually the phone is ringing like crazy. Usually the phone is ringing like crazy with offers and whatnot. Now, naturally, you have to, I mean, it must be very difficult to maneuver through all this and trying to pick and choose, because you win an Academy Award. I mean, it's always been a thing, even now, maybe not as much as it was back then, but you win an Academy Award, yeah, you get bumped up. You're on a level where you're in high demand. People want you in their movie. So you have to pick and choose and be careful with that, because sometimes, a lot of times, a lot of people who win Academy Awards end up making bad choices, and then they end up being in shit movies. What's her name? Ariana DeBose or whatever. Didn't she win for West Side Story? Do you remember the last 2 movies she was in? Yeah. Do you remember? Yeah. They were bad. They were very, 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 very bad. So, just saying, you got to be careful when it comes to that stuff. I mean, of course, that was a couple of years ago, but she hasn't really been in anything that's helped her career. She's been in some flops, and that's the thing. You got to maneuver through that. So Mikey Madison was actually rumored. I mean, first she was actually rumored to, for a Marvel Studios role. There hasn't been anything that's come from that, but then she was rumored to actually be offered a role in a Star Wars film, and then it was mentioned that it was going to be Sean Levy's Star Wars film that is going to be starring Ryan Gosling, and Variety released this today. Mikey Madison passes on Sean Levy's Star Wars movie with Ryan Gosling. Whoa. Mikey Madison won't journey into a galaxy far, far away. For her first project after picking up a Best Actress Oscar, sources tell Variety that Madison was offered a role in the new untitled Star Wars movie directed by Deadpool and Wolverine filmmaker Sean Levy, but conversations have since ended with the Honora star passing on the part. Good on her. I say good on her. She probably went, to go from that to jumping right into Star Wars? And then maybe she went, yeah, the Star Wars right now is kind of in a rough spot. Yeah, it's Sean Levy, who just made $1 billion movie. Yeah, it's Ryan Gosling. But do I really want to just go right into like a big, huge blockbuster movie and be in a Star Wars film? Maybe she doesn't even like Star Wars. That could be part of it too. But I say good on her. I say good on her. She was already in a franchise. She was, the first time we saw her, essentially, I mean, she's been in stuff before that, but the first time a lot of people really got eyes on her was, Scream 6, Scream 5, I don't know which one. I think it was Scream 5. That she ended up being one of the, spoiler alert, one of the Ghostface killers. But yeah, so, and then of course she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So she has been slowly climbing. She was in that, which was hugely successful. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, hugely successful. And then of course she gets this role and then wins an Academy Award. I think she's playing it carefully. She's playing it carefully because she doesn't want that curse. She doesn't want that curse that once you win an Academy Award, all of a sudden you take like the biggest role that is offered to you, because you better believe there's going to be quite a bag that she was going to get handed for this role. But she went, Star Wars, yeah, maybe not. So good on her. I think that's actually pretty smart. And it's kind of sad that when you look on social media and people commenting about this, people are going, smart. That just shows you the state of Star Wars right now, which is not good. That's not good. When people are going, good job, Mikey. Yeah, do not do this. Don't even go. Do not go to that galaxy far, far away. Stay here on Earth. Do something else that maybe will get some more acknowledgement of your acting talents. So, good stuff. Why is everyone talking about this? Whoa, jeez. All right. Yeah, Game City Savior's on a good one. You drinking? You drinking tonight? What's happening? Trying to act cool in the chat by calling her that? That's pretty sweet. Good job. Good job, Game City Savior. Sometimes when you think of things, maybe you shouldn't just hit send. Don't hit send. Please don't hit send. Anyways, all right. Who's seen Sinners over the weekend? All right. I think a lot of people are going to be seeing Sinners over the weekend. I mean, it's not going to be like huge. It's not going to be like Minecraft huge, but for an R-rated horror movie, this movie could actually probably do some money, and we'll talk about some of the projections right here. Looks like it might be another W for WBD, which I know some people are not excited for, and that's what's sad too. It's like, you know, we got these people who fought for artistic integrity and fought for filmmakers making films, but of course, just because Ryan Coogler's working for Warner Brothers, they ain't gonna even touch this movie, talk about this movie or nothing, because they are selfish little men, children. Anyway, so we got Sinners that are happening right now. Devil Fruit site, 99%. It was at 100% for a while. Certified Fresh, 103 reviews. Jeez. And the consensus right here, a rip-roaring fusion of masterful visual storytelling and toe-tapping music. Writer-director Ryan Coogler's first original blockbuster reveals the full scope of his singular imagination. That's freaking cool. Gotta love that. And we gotta remember, yeah, because he was doing like the Creed movies and then of course Black Panther movies. So he hasn't, when he did Fruitvale Station, I mean that was based on an actual true story. So this is actually something coming from his brain, and that's what's cool. So I mean, look at I don't even know where the bad review is. I don't even know. There's like one bad review somewhere in here. I'm like not even knowing where it's at, and I don't even care because it's like I'm seeing nothing but good reviews right here. So let's just read the good reviews. I don't even care where that one bad review is. Who cares? That person was probably Game City Savior or something. Anyways, Joseph right here starts off right here. Coogler demonstrates a masterful ability to meld genres in this epic vampire tale. It's an almost brilliant piece of work, but like the bullet-riddled bodies that pile up, there are so many nagging little holes there here that meaning slightly drains away. So that's a 4 out of 5. It's fine. In an age of blockbuster remakes and sequels, it's always refreshing when an original concept lands on the big screen. That's what I'm talking about. One to sink your teeth into. Sinners is the most intriguing fusion of character development and horror conventions in mainstream Hollywood cinema since John Carpenter made his version of The Thing in 1982. Nice. A spectacular, sexy, sweaty, and soulful vampire drama, the mesmerizing tale is much more than just a horror film. It possesses great spiritual depth and emotional texture. A phenomenally entertaining picture and a remarkable feat of cinematic craftsmanship. It's as funny as it is romantic as it is scary, with a thematic density matched only by its unrelenting pace. It's hopeful, it's sad, it's upsetting, it's joyous. An audacious, ultra-violent, foot-tapping, high-kicking historical horror with 2 teeth in its neck and a twist in its tail. Just nothing but good things. Nothing but good things. We got some cinema that's coming. I'm going to go see it tomorrow with Pop's Film Junkee. I'm going to go see it, so look forward, of course, to my review. I've been very much looking forward to this movie. And according to Hollywood Reporter, Ryan Coogler's Sinners looks to sink teeth into $40 to $45 million opening, and this is just domestic. This is just domestic that they're talking about. So, yeah, at first it was targeting 35 to 40. Now they pushed it to 40 to 45 because, hey, guess what? It's getting good word of mouth. Let's see. I don't think it mentions anything. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mention anything about international or anything like that. But I'm kind of wondering, what's the budget for this? I'm guessing this budget is probably about 30 million, maybe 30, 40 million. So if domestically it can already make the budget back, and then of course, obviously, the formula, which is 2.5 to 3 times the budget when it comes to the entire box office poll. Hopefully this could be a pretty good success because I want to see Ryan Coogler, because I think he's a talented filmmaker. I want to see him be successful, okay? And I'm hoping, too, that Warner Brothers is like starting to get to that right direction that we've been hoping for since 2017. My God. So, it's good stuff. Is everybody okay? Are we fighting in the chat here? Jesus Christ. That's what happens, though. You say stuff like that. It's what's gonna happen. All right. Get rid of that one right there. All right. Let's talk about this. Daredevil Born Again finale. Man. Last week, of course, when it came to the finale, or when it came to that episode, you could tell that was basically the first episode that was part of the revamp process. Part of the revamp process when it came to Daredevil Born Again, because obviously we know that, that they were going a different direction, and they realized, oh crap, people don't like this. Let's try to make it like the Netflix show as much as possible. And of course, they were trying to do their thing, and it's been kind of a mixed bag. A little bit of a mixed bag. There's been really good things. It seemed like it was doing this, and then it kind of did this for me, and then it started doing this again. And then, of course, we knew that, of course, Frank was going to be showing back up in this finale, and it was like, okay, what is going to happen? And obviously, last episode, and again, I'm going to be talking about spoilers of this episode, so if you don't want to hear them, go ahead and exit out of here now. But obviously, we know that Matt got shot when they were at that banquet, that dinner party thing that, of course, Bullseye showed up to and was going to shoot Fisk. And Matt stood in front of him, and the bullet hit Matt. So we saw the follow-up with that, and that was just, he doesn't even know why he did that, why he sacrificed and put himself right in front of that bullet. Pretty crazy. But, yes, so when it came to this, let's just face it, to me, when it came to this finale, I thought this felt more like the Netflix show than all the other episodes. Even like the first episode. It felt more like it. Still doesn't fully you don't fully feel that vibe of the Netflix episode, but I think this was the closest one to that. Especially because you have Karen returning. And talk about an entrance. It's kind of crazy how, with everything that's happened with this show and everything, the fact that Karen got like a really cool, oh, who's showing up? It's Karen. And it was kind of like a dun-dun, whoa, it was like an entrance. And it's kind of weird. Kind of weird that she had there she is. After you have this awesome scene in Matt's apartment, I love the way that Frank was in his apartment already. Matt sits down and the camera just pans over, and then of course they start talking, and they're just bumping heads the whole time. And then of course all the task force guys just start storming the apartment, and they just start effing them up. Of course, Frank is not holding back. He's just killing anybody who's fighting, and some pretty brutal kills. And then, of course, grenade, and they have to basically just. I love that shot where they just take off over the balcony, and of course, Daredevil just does his little freaking gauntlet, whatever the hell you want to call it, and grabs onto, and then they just land on a car. Pretty sweet stuff. But he does mention something about an army, that he need to build an army. And a lot of people are kind of going, does that mean we're going to get some of the Defenders to come back? Does that mean there's going to be some other people that we might see join this army to take on the Fisks? Because, well, they, they're up to their old dirty tricks, and it's at a different level this time. When they're walking through and they have all those people captive in cages, and then, of course, you have Frank, who's all effed up, and, he's in a cage. But, of course, that's not going to last long, because if you watch the mid-credits scene, he does his Frank Castle scene. I love how John Bernthal plays the character. I don't know. There's a likability to him. And it's don't fuck with Frank. And then, of course, he breaks that dude's arm and blah, blah, blah. And, of course, he's going to get out. But, of course, now we have to wait till 2026 for Season 2, and as well as the Punisher special that we're supposed to be getting as well. So, I think it was a really good finale. I think it was the best episode of the season. It felt more like the Netflix show than all the other episodes. But still, it's never going to feel completely like it, but... yeah, we'll see. But I definitely enjoyed it. Definitely enjoyed it. Frank Castle versus Russian in 2024, still fucking epic. Yeah, it was pretty good. That was a pretty good fight. I think that's the best part of that 2004 movie. I really thought that. Yeah, Bernthal is he's a great Frank. He's definitely a great Frank. I think he's the best Frank. He's the best Frank. Because there's been 3 other Frank Castles live action. We mustn't forget Dolph Lundgren, who was the first. He was the original cinematic Frank Castle. He just didn't wear the Punisher. He didn't wear the Punisher logo on his chest. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about over here in Twitter. Twitter questions right here. So we got Eric right here. Hey, Dave, I'd say 28 years later, trailers are a perfect reminder that a well-made trailer is a work of art. No spoilers needed, but just a perfect mood with a bit of premise. What's one of your all-time favorite movie trailers? Oh, In the Line of Fire? I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I would say like the first Dark Knight teaser was actually pretty cool because it just showed the Bat logo and you just heard voices. And at the end of that, you heard Heath Ledger's Joker laugh. And I thought, all right, that's all I need. That's all I need. Devin Wooter. Hey, Dave. Hi, Dave. I'm not going to lie. Daredevil Born Again season finale, it's okay, but I still prefer the Netflix Daredevil series. Do you agree? Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, Netflix is better, but like I said, this episode right here was definitely was feeling a little bit like the old, especially when Fisk like ripped that dude's head apart. That was crazy. Do you agree? What is your thought on 2 casts for the Street Fighter movie, and what's your favorite Netflix Daredevil season? I'd say the first Daredevil season for sure. And yeah, I think if they get cast as Ken and Ryu, cool. That seems like a pretty good fit. They seem like they'd be a pretty good fit. Dylan G. Daredevil Born Again is Marvel Studios' The Batman Logan Dark Knight. It's literally what they have been missing for a long time. Yeah, this shot right here was fucking awesome. I love this shot right here in the bar, which has all the newspaper up that's been closed since Foggy's death. That was just like a really cool shot right there. A really cool ending shot. Really badass. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, question number 1. If Sophia does escape from Arkham and gets some kind of revenge on Oz, could it be Sophia killing Oz's mom? Ooh, could be that. Or Sophia. I mean, I would not be surprised. If what the hell? If I mean, she ends up killing Oz herself, of course. Question 2: with Mikey Madison turning down a role for Levy's Star Wars film, is this an indication that the current state the franchise is in has begun making people in the industry not interested? Due to the certain projects flopping and over time more people won't want to join? Yeah, I think that's a little bit of an indication. But, you know. I beg you, please go to... Oh, okay, that's a bot. I was like, what was that? What is that responding to him? That's a bot. Whoa, we got some side nudity. We got some side Henry Cavill nudity right here. Heads up. We don't see dong in there, right? Okay. I don't understand what's to celebrate about Jimmy Olsen. Not hating on the character, I just don't get it. It's Superman's best friend. What's not to get? It's a character that's been around for decades. All right. And what does Suicide Squad have to do with this? Is it James Gunn's The Suicide Squad? Well, hopefully if you've been watching Mr. Nobody, you understand why I brought that up. If you had a pick for, if you had your pick for Henry Cavill to play another DC character, who would it be? God, why do I always forget his name? Why does it always elude me when I'm live? Who's the big baddie of the Justice League that has lived forever? I don't know why, that it just leaves my brain. Leaves my brain every time, and I hate that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. The immortal dude. God, why does it always, it always happens. My brain just... Anyways, I know you get... it was almost there. It almost hit. It almost hit right there. Vandal Savage, thank you. Jesus Christ. I don't know why. That's happened before, too. I'm like, oh, yeah, I wanted Cavill to be... My brain just goes, nope, gonna hide that one deep into your brain. Dylan G, do you think the events in Daredevil Born Again will be continued in Thunderbolts, considering the movie takes place in New York City, or do you think Marvel will say Thunderbolts takes place either before Daredevil or after? Well, somebody, I think it was Brandon Davis that that when they showed the skyline in New York City, you actually see the tower, which is no longer the Avengers Tower. I think you see it in the distance, and it has construction that's happening to it. So that'd be pretty cool. And that's pretty funny right there. Remember, he did call shotgun. So, and then, of course, I don't even want to... I got somebody muted right there. God knows what that is. Of course, that's fake accounts. Sometimes, yeah, I got those weirdos. Got some weirdos. What the hell? I don't even know what the hell's going on with that. Oh, yeah, that's that Snyderverse fan person that, I don't know, spams my my mentions for some reason. Anyways, all right, guys. Jeez. Unlike what happened in Batman vs. Superman, at least the new Jimmy Olsen won't... Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, I think Zach even said that technically that wasn't the real Jimmy Olsen, you know? Technically it wasn't. It was just like some dude, Secret Service, secret spy kind of dude that just found the name and used the name as an alias to get where he was. I think that was like the kind of thing when it came to Batman vs. Superman. Which is fine. I always love it though when with the whole discourse with Gunn and Snyder, like, I mean, the diehard Snyder fans are just like, fuck yeah, this is the real Jimmy Olsen. It's like, guys, stop. Just stop. I mean, Jimmy Olsen is just, he's been a character since, I don't know, since the 60s? Something like that? I don't know. But there's a reason why Scott and I on DC Fanimated, which we're doing tonight, we're talking about Batman Beyond. We literally just talked about an episode called Superman's Pal, which I thought was cool. I was like, oh yeah, and then here's the anniversary. Nothing wrong with celebrating Jimmy freaking Olsen. Everybody, if you know Superman, you know who Jimmy Olsen is. That's all. Nothing wrong with that. Right, guys? People just want to just complain about everything. All right, guys. That's the show. Cheers again. Members, we'll do a members-only stream right after this, so do that. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to be a member, by all means. And we got a couple new members that were gifted memberships, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Look forward to it. I'll post a link on your feed on YouTube, so look forward to that. And everybody else, like I said, look forward to my Sinners First Reaction video tomorrow. And then, of course, we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about Daredevil. We'll be talking about all kinds of things. Superman Day. That's just, we'll be definitely talking about Superman Day on Friday for Friday's Vodka stream. All right, guys. Love ya, and I'll talk to you later.